What to do?
And we are live. What's up, Jojo? How's it going, man?
Hanging in there, man. Season leagues are winding down. A good percentage of them, of my 8 leagues, are going to be in playoffs.
Nice, man. You're doing well.
I have a chance in this league. Did you see that? I have a 10%
Yeah,
chance.
man. I think we're gonna change it. You're the new comeback kid because you started
Right.
off pretty low. McCaffrey came back, saved you. Now he's gone, but you have still a pretty good team.
Well,
If
Kyler was
you,
out for the majority of the year too for
yeah,
me, and then Aaron Jones going down. Then I traded him when he was like halfway of being down. Like it was just a very tumultuous year, but I bounced back.
if you can sneak in, it'll be pretty scary for the rest of the players. I think your team's pretty good. So, but you have a hiccup. You're playing me this week,
I
and
know.
I
You gonna
might
lay
just
down?
I don't know. I'm already out. I have nothing to lose. But hey, if I could just beat you and kick you out, I mean,
Collusion. Joseph's gonna lose on purpose. No, I'm kidding. He's not gonna do that.
no, never, never.
You never do that.
All right,
Do that.
let's get into it. Let's review what we did last week. I don't even know yet, so this is gonna be the first time I'm hearing it.
You
Hopefully,
want
I
to do
did
pick'ems
well.
first, or do you want to do jabronis or Goodfellas first? You pick which one you want first.
Let's do the jabronis and Goodfellas.
All right, all right. So overall, we actually did better on the Goodfellas side as a whole, as well, between all three of us. This was a pretty good week. Brian kicked butt. I mean, Brian with Goodfellas has been a money segment for you guys all season long. He went 2 for 2 again. He picked Javonte Williams, although both of you picked Javonte Williams. So I guess
Yeah,
kind
he
of a
stole
lot
that from
for
me.
you, but he did pick Madison as well. I mean, he was Madison. I got some stats for 3 games without Dalvin Cook. 26.1, 30.3, 21.4 points fantasy wise. 73 of 81 snaps, 18 of 21 targets, 16.3% target share, 100% of all carries inside the 10. He had 7 in all 3 games. So this guy is just a pure monster. So it's no secret that he went off when Brian picked him. Javonte Williams, I think he's taking the job from here on out. What do you think?
I hope so, but yeah, I don't know. I think Melvin is still questionable heading into this week, so it could be more of like if Melvin does play, it'll be more like a 60-40 split instead of a 50-50. I don't think Javante is going to take the full load, even though I really hope he does.
We'll get to that a little bit more specifically when we get to the matchup. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we'll see when we get a
We'll
little
see.
later on. I hit on Hunter Renfro. Things we missed on was DK and Jawan Jennings on your part. I know you took a big stab at Jawan Jennings. It was obviously the George Kittle show last
Yeah.
week. And then
Oh no, he froze. He's gone.
I'm
Let
back.
me see. Are you back? Oh, you're still frozen.
Are you back?
There
I'm
you
back.
go.
You were frozen.
Oh, I was frozen.
I'm
You were
back.
frozen on my end.
I mean, are we good now? Because I'm moving.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Okay, we're both good. Okay. Yeah, first
All right,
both
so
screens
I
turned
had.
black, and then the circles came, and then I came back, and then you were frozen, and
Oh,
okay.
wow. All sorts of
Anyway,
mixed up.
Jamal Williams only 34 of 72 snaps, 70% of the carries was good, but 9 routes run on 46 dropbacks, only 1 target on a game where Jared Goff threw 41 times. That is far from workhorse. So I was definitely off base on that, thinking that he was just going to step into the DeAndre Swift role. Apologies, just off base there. So that was our Goodfellas. So percentages after week 13. Brian is 12 of 24 with exactly 15%. 50%, I'm sorry. Not 15. No one's at 15%. No one's at 15%. Or else you guys would just be unsub, get out of here. Although Yosef and I are combined beating Brian at 50%, because combined we have 53. And Yosef's at 30, 8 of 27, and I am 6 of 26, 23%. Obviously, those are not favorable numbers, but we were taking a lot of Jawan Jennings types plays as off the wall for people that are trying to look for end of bench, end of roster fill-ins. But we'll be taking more serious stabs at the stuff going forward. Anyway, jabronis. Together we were 3 of 7. Brian took 3. He only went 1 of 3 there. He hit on Saquon Barkley being a bust or a dud this past week. Sony Michel obviously killed. He had a little asterisk if DeHendo was playing. DeHendo did play, but it wasn't going to be.
Michel took all the reps, yeah.
Yeah, I counted Sony for him because that was the one he was really going for. Mike Will was his other one, but he just barely passed projection. So it was not a complete dud or fade for Mike Will. Joe Burrow was a dud. You selected him. It was correct. Hunter Henry, I believe, got in the end zone, or at least he barely passed projection. I don't forget, but I just know he wasn't a dud. Darnell Mooney was a dud. I hit that one. And Dame Harris obviously had that big run in the Snow Bowl, or maybe it wasn't too much.
Yeah, that was just a full run game. Like they
only
just
3 passes
running, dude. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And if Damien Harris actually got hurt, if he would have stayed in the game, he would have had like 30 carries, man. It would have been nuts.
Yeah, he would have continued to smash me. But here's the thing: I think it was Friday when we did that. So if I would have known that that was the game plan, I wouldn't have selected Damien Harris as a jabroni. So full transparency there. I was 2 days early on that. So bear with me. But I am leading those picks at 58% in jabronis as far as ones to manage expectations for. I am 15 of 26 on the year. Joseph, you are in second, 15 of 27, 56%. And Brian is 13 of 25 for 52%. So still solid stats across the board to guys to watch out for, like the landmines, jabronis.
Dang, our good fellows really they were slacking, huh? It's crazy because they always have great matchups. It seems like a perfect,
fantasy football,
pick, and it just goes off. That's fantasy for you. But how about our pick'ems? How do we do on those?
All right,
I'm very curious.
You want the good news first or the good news first?
Oh, is it good news for me?
Yeah, man, you finally passed me up. You definitely are now. I'm now bringing up the rear in pick'ems.
All right,
you're still in the lead. You tied Brian, so Brian's still not keeping you out. You guys both ended up with 10 this week. Justin, I don't know where you've been at, man. You didn't send us your picks, so there's no count on yours this week. I brought up the rear with 8. Still a fair week, above average because there was 4 teams on bye. But yeah, Brian's at 130.
Overall, I mean, we're doing pretty good on pick'ems, I agree.
I think so too. Brian is in the lead at 130. You're at 119. I am at 117. I am now down by 2 on you. I need to pick things up. I think you and Brian were both hit your upset of the week. I did not hit mine because I picked the Giants over the Dolphins, and that did not work out for me. Right. All right, so that is our recap, and I'm ready to go on our pick'ems this week. I just gotta flip the page whenever you're ready, but we're gonna go over matchups first, correct?
Yeah, let's do the matchups. If you want to pull up the underdog.
Got it ready.
I like doing it through there. I did underdog for this Thursday night game. I know you want to speak on yours, but I got 4 out of 5. The one I missed was Dalvin Cook. I put under 65 yards. He passed that in like the first 3 runs. So I was like, great. I had nothing to look forward to for the rest of that game. But you had a great game. I think you got all 5 of your.
Yeah, man, it was a good week. Hold on. It was a good night yesterday. My card, I guess I could pull it up. Let's see. I love results. NFL pick'em. Nope, that's not that one. Sorry, guys. Hold on one sec. So yeah, there was that 500. I did hit him pretty good yesterday. I did hit the Ben Roethlisberger over half interceptions. All he had to do was throw 1. It was a sweat for the Jeff prop at 7.5 catches, and he had 7. So the kicker helped me out. I hit the under.
Wow, you got so close. That's
and then, well, look at the last one right there. 104.5 rushing and receiving for Najee Harris. I was waiting for a stat correction, but it was on the dot 104, and the 105 kicker helped me out.
I had Najee too. I was wondering, like, he got exactly 104.
But it was the 104.5, so that hit the under. So technically, it is under. And obviously, Deontay.
Dude, it's like the closest you can get.
Pretty much, yeah. And what if Deontay Harris actually ends up scoring? Deontay Johnson, I'm sorry, ends up scoring that last catch he had before he ran out of bounds. I think he was around like the 12-yard line.
Right.
So maybe, yeah, you could have screwed me there. Claypool obviously smashed his projection. So yeah, it was a good night, but it was definitely a sweat. So hopefully we have another good night like that going forward. All right, so let's go back to Pick'ems this week. All right, here we go. Now, again, we're gonna everybody who's new or who's watching for the first time, we use this just to keep on track for our matchups. We'll talk season long. We'll talk DFS a little bit based on the plays if it's necessary. And of course, sometimes we'll even bring up the projections if you guys want to just partake in your own underdog props. I would like to say this show is brought to you by Underdog, but not yet. Hopefully, Underdog's watching.
Coming soon.
Coming soon. All right, you want to kick us off on this matchup between Baltimore and Cleveland. Justin is in the building. What's up, Justin? How you doing?
What's up, Justin? All right, so for Baltimore, Cleveland, this game, I'm expecting like a low-scoring division game like you saw with the Ravens and the Steelers. It's not too exciting for me on paper. I'm actually low on Lamar Jackson this week. I'm low on Devontae Freeman this week. So with that being said, that means I'm pretty low on the Ravens offense as a whole. Maybe Mark Andrews will have a good game. I mean, obviously you're starting Mark Andrews, Lamar Jackson, Marquise Brown. It's pretty much it. Devontae Freeman if you need to. And then on the Brown side, you want to do Browns, or you want me to just finish this matchup?
You can go. I'll just find where I fit in on if you just want to finish it up.
Sure. And then on the Brown side, Kareem Hunt, we're yet to see him bounce back completely yet. This might be the game. If you have him, you're starting him, though. I feel like you pretty much have to at this point. The Ravens' defense is not as great as it's been in the past, so they're definitely beatable and worth starting against. So, but the Mayfield 224, I'm not sure he even gets that, so I would go under with that. You're not even starting Mayfield anyways, but just for underdog purposes, I would take the under. Oh yeah, but that's it. Anything else you want to add to that one?
Well, just know that the Baltimore Ravens are hemorrhaging. They've obviously now down a lot of guys on defense, especially in their secondary. Their safety Deshaun Elliott. You got two starting corners, two perennial All-Pro bowlers too. Marcus Peters was gone early in the year. And just as this past week, Marlon Humphrey is now out for the year. So it could be good things for, the whatever you want to, you want to describe the Cleveland Browns wide receiver group. Jarvis Landry or DPJ could get loose. Obviously, Baker is not a high volume thrower. This is more of a ground and pound. And then coach speak. You got to, take this for what it's worth. Take it with a grain of salt, if you will. But Stefanski came out and said, through the bye week, there's a lot of self-scouting. We're going to go back to our roots, and we're going to ground and pound. So this can be a big week for Chubb and Kareem Hunt. If you have them, I would start them because this is, like Joseph just said, this is a divisional game in the winter, a lot of ground and pound. So I expect both teams to try to establish the run. And this game is going to be won and lost in the trenches. Mark my words. I wouldn't take the over, but who knows, man.
Yeah, you never know with these division games. Okay, Justin says start one flex: J-Rob, Sony, Jeff Wilson, Gallup, Julio, A-Rob, AJ Dillon.
Wow, man. Start one of these. I'm probably going to go with Gallup out of all of them, to be honest with you, because I know Sony might play and start, so I guess he could be option. But next to that, I think J-Ro, in my opinion, depending on how Urban Meyer wants to deal with that, because he kind of deferred to his RB coach this past week of why he was benched or XYZ. I don't know what's going on in that situation. Good matchup. Jeff Wilson.
I was going to say Jeff Wilson. He's starting. It's against the Bengals. A bad, not too bad, but the middle of the pack against the run. And the Niners love the run ball.
Honestly, can you trust it? Because I know Eli is going to play.
So, he had one start this year versus Jacksonville. He got lots of carries. He almost had a touchdown. Garoppolo overthrew him, even though he was wide open. So he should have had a good game. So if he gets 20 carries like he did against Jacksonville versus a worse run defense in Cincinnati, I think he can have a pretty good game. So I think he's the most safest actually out of this group.
I kind of like Sony more than Jeff Wilson if Sony gets the nod with D Hendo out. Honestly, that's where
I could see that with D Hendo out. Yeah.
And Gallup is Gallup is an alpha in my opinion. I think Gallup can be a number one somewhere. You put him on Jacksonville, I think it's something special to watch there.
Well, we got Lamb and Cooper coming back, right? So
they were all out there last week, weren't they? I mean, Amari was limited, but he was on the field.
Amari barely played, but Gallup still.
You saw the catch, though. You saw the catch, right?
Yeah, he's good.
You saw that. Man, that dude is something. I'll tell you right now. Yeah, so I guess, Justin, you got Sony, Jeff went off last night, but Jeff Wilson, Gallup are probably our favorites. I think A.J. Dillon, Aaron Jones situation is going to be more of a split just because I think Aaron Jones is going to play. A-Rob, I wouldn't touch him. Julio, first game back, they're going to need to use him. I just don't know if I'm ready to pull the trigger on that yet as of Friday. Tweet at me before Sunday. Maybe I might have a different take on that if Julio and the reports are good leading up to that game.
What's the status on Chase Edmonds? Right now, I think it's a game time decision, if I remember correctly. That's the latest update. But if you're going to start one, Chase, Gordon, Jeff Wilson, I think you have to go Jamar Chase. I know he's had a pretty down.
What is he? Is he referring to Chase Edmonds in that scenario? Because he's talking about
Chase?
But if it's Melvin Gordon, Jeff Wilson, I'm going to go with. As of today, I'm going to go Jeff Wilson. But if Chase Edmonds is getting a full go as well to get his normal workload, I mean, you got to downgrade James Conner a little bit because I mean he's gonna eat into the touches a little bit more than you would like because James Conner's been killing. But Chase Edmonds was very productive when they were both healthy.
Yeah, I'm sticking with my boy Jeff Wilson.
Yeah, I don't blame you on that one. I'm gonna pull up a team where I have Chase Edmonds on. I'm gonna see what the status is on that.
All right. Yeah, they did look horrible. It's really sickening, but hopefully this bye week helps them out. And they have fired their offensive coordinator, thank God. So we'll see how that turns out versus Atlanta.
But what is Joe Brady really the problem with that team? I don't think Joe Brady was the problem with that at all.
Well, the play calling was really predictable, and I mean the offensive line is the biggest problem. That's not his fault, obviously, but you gotta do some plays to get like quick screens, some kind of rollouts, something. He just didn't get anything done. It was just cliche. Should I start Van Jefferson or the running back from the Lions? Says Seabass G.
Well, Seabass, I just picked up Godwin Obigweke because now Jamal Williams just entered the COVID protocol. D Swift is still going to be out, so it's going to be a combination of Jamar Jefferson and Godwin Obigweke. I picked up Obigweke because I think he is the more explosive guy, in my opinion. I think he had a really big run. One of those games where I think everyone was active, and he was the one guy. I think him and Jamar Jefferson scored that game, and D Swift didn't. So it was very unique. But the guy has some explosiveness. But he's going against Denver. That run defense is stout. Even, I mean, Vaughn wasn't much of a run defender, but he was really known for his pass rush. But he was still solid. I like Godwin, but I'm definitely going to go with Van Jefferson in this situation, like 100%.
Yeah, you got to go with Van Jefferson.
Yeah, I'm not going to trust Godwin and BK if you have those two. So best of luck to you, Seabass. Come back again. Let us know how we did on that particular decision for you.
Definitely, Panthers suck without CMC. That's no question. It's like he's their whole offense. It makes our offense flow a lot easier when he's there, and it makes the coaching a lot easier. CMC, go out for a pass, and then that's the game plan. Without him, can't do that.
All right, so Justin, we're actually about to break down the game right now, so just sit tight and stay tuned. All right, so here we go. Go ahead, man.
All right, for Dallas aside, for Pollard, I don't think he plays, honestly. But
is it plantar fasciitis?
Yeah, something like that. Fasciitis. I don't even know how to say it. But that's what he tore, and it sounds pretty bad. So even if he does play, he'll be limited. And Elliott will get most of the work. But Elliott's also dealing with his own little issue with the knee. So how much work does he actually get? I mean, they keep saying they're going to give him a big load, but we haven't really seen it. So you kind of have to hold the reins a little bit. I mean, obviously starting him though. And Washington, their defense has actually gotten a little bit better over the past couple of weeks. So it's not like the same defense that you can pass all over and run all over like it was in the beginning of the year. That being said, though, you're still starting these all these Cowboys players as you listed, even Gallup, like Joey said, he's high on Gallup. So you're starting these players. But if you're talking about Ezekiel Elliott versus Javonte, that is a good question. I would. I'm still going Zeke just for the more likely to get a touchdown. It's going to be Zeke, especially if Gordon is playing, because it looks like they go more to Gordon in the red zone. So I would trust Zeke there, but I do like Javonte this week as well.
I'm going to go with Zeke's floor is higher, but if Melvin's not playing, it's Javonte all the way. He's the healthier option. He's going to get majority of the work. I'm going to see if I have some stats to drop off to you about Javonte.
And he leads the league in breaking tackles. So
does he really? I wouldn't doubt it. I'm just like that.
For a rookie, I mean, he's just looking really good.
He is looking good. Let me see if I can find. I think I wrote down something.
All right, while you do that, 9-49. Would you rather start Kamara or Eckler? Oh man, that's a good choice. That's a good problem to have. Kamara just has such a good matchup. He has the best matchup we can get versus the Jets. So I'm gonna go out on the limb here and take Kamara.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Kamara on that one as well. Yeah, I mean, if he's rumors say, or like reports this whole week say that this guy is ready to go, full go, and get the normal workload. And against the Jets, I mean, you can't get much better than that. Eckler is dealing with some kind of injury. I think the last time I checked, he had a Q tag next to his name. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I expect him to play. I just like the matchup versus the Jets more, though. Okay. On the Washington side, did you want to break that one down?
Yeah, just to adjust this real quick, Javonte does have a really good matchup, but I think you got to go with who's most likely to score more points. That's probably the Cowboys. So Elliott means more opportunities for him to get a touchdown. But you can't really go wrong with either one. Look for what's happening with Gordon. If he's not going to play, put Javonte in there over Zeke.
Yeah. You have Chuba over both Niner. I mean, I would like to make a paper bet with you right now, man, because I don't. I definitely take Kamara and Eckler over Chuba after what I've seen Chuba the whole year, because I've had CMC and Chuba on my fantasy team, and Chuba been letting me down for the majority part. But that's just my take. Hey, look, you're responsible for your own team. You go with your own gut. You're the one that hit submit. More power to you. Chuba's not a bad option. I mean, he's going against Atlanta, and he should get a lot of the work. So I'm not going to fault you for it. But I'm definitely going with Kamara. What about you? Definitely. I mean, you're the Carolina guy. I mean, is he on the right track with Chuba over against Atlanta or what?
No, you don't start Chuba. I mean, Amir Abdullah is actually going to get some work too, and he gets the pass.
They like Amir Abdullah too. They like him.
Yeah, he's looking really good too. He's looking fluid. He's looking fast. He accelerates quicker. So, yeah, Chuba's definitely not an option over those two. But on to Washington football team. I do like Gibson this game. Dallas's run defense is actually pretty good this year, which is surprising. But Gibson's getting a lot more volume each week. I know McKissick might be coming back this week, but I don't think it makes a difference. I think they're really seeing what Gibson can do, and he's getting into his stride. So I think he keeps up the pace and has another pretty good game. That being said, McLaurin, he's been iffy this couple of weeks. So
he's going to get shadowed by Trey Diggs, though.
He's going to get shadowed by Trey Diggs.
I expect him to get shadowed. Trey Diggs has shadowed in the past this season. But, I mean, Terry is a crafty wide receiver. I think he can beat him on a double move, even to just get jump balls too. But just expect that kind of coverage on his end, though.
Right. So, I mean, who would you start, like a Terry McLaurin or a
I mean, I have Terry. I'm still starting him, of course. I have to.
Well, I guess you have to if you have.
You have to. And Heineke's been very efficient, but I think his his I can't say his ADOT because that's receiver stat, but just his yards per throw is very low, and it's very short. I mean, to the line of scrimmage. So he checks down a lot. He throws a lot of really quick routes, and those haven't really been going to Terry McLaurin. So those have been to running backs, tight ends, Johnny Bates. Or actually, I think it's going to be Ricky Seals-Jones this week at tight end. Logan Thomas, RIP man. Or not RIP, I shouldn't say that. RIP to Bebe, DT, Demaryius Thomas. We'll get to that too. But Logan Thomas is done for the year. DeAndre Carter and Humphreys, those are the kind of – I expect them to get a few catches. I think those projections actually are favorable because they can catch 4 to 5 balls for about 20-some-odd yards and pass those projections if you're going to do underdog. But highly unlikely still because those don't get a lot of volume.
And DeAndre Carter actually has been okay the last couple of weeks. I mean, I don't know if you're going to start him unless you're desperate, but he's been kind of like flexible. All right,
and one thing to add on the Dallas side too is that the prop is not here for Tony Pollard, so I think dealing with the plantar fascia is definitely a real thing. So definitely monitor that going over the next 2 days. So just manage expectations there. Yeah, Denver D is not the best in the league by any means, but they are going against Detroit this week, so I don't expect them to get destroyed by any means.
Yeah, it's versus Detroit.
I don't expect them to get destroyed by any means.
It happens with Diggs because he's going for those ends exactly.
He's just a new age version of Marcus Peters, a bigger body and everything. Very high risk, high reward type player with good instincts. Now I'm gonna break down this game if you don't mind.
Okay.
Obviously, my team didn't do too well against these guys last time because I think the stat was about 4 games or so for Pat Mahomes. He hasn't thrown for more than 6 touchdowns in all the games combined. But the last time he visited the Raiders, it was in LV, a primetime game. He threw for 5, so and for over 400 yards. Will that happen again? Probably. But Trayvon Mullen's coming back for the Raiders, so their actual number 2 corner is back. Casey Hayward's been a mainstay, one of the highest graded corners. So it really comes down to the red zone defense, which we've been horrible at. So expect if anybody has good red zone target usage, which has been not Travis Kelce, surprisingly. It's really kind of been Tyreek Hill and I think the running backs, to be honest with you. But I expect them to be pretty efficient, take what the defense gives you because the Raiders don't change up their scheme. They play a cover 3 shell. They only rush 4. They blitz very periodically, pick their spots. And Mahomes has been a lot more safe with the ball. So a lot of nickel and diming him down the field, and then the rush. I do have some stats on the Kansas City running backs. 29 snaps, 14 routes for CEH on Sunday Night Football against the Broncos. 26 snaps for Darrell Williams and 19 routes for Darrell Williams. So he's running more routes, but just slightly less snaps on the field. Derek Gore, only 2 snaps, no routes run. So it's between those 2 people, those 2 running backs. Darrell is actually in play. Shockingly, he's actually in play.
Yeah, the Raiders' run defense is pretty bad. I think it's 30th against running backs in fantasy this year so far. So
and our leading tackler is questionable. Denzel Perriman is questionable for the game. Our middle linebacker.
Yeah, and he's one of the run-stubborn linebackers, one of the best tacklers. So that will hurt.
It will hurt. On the other side, though, the Raiders, Josh Jacobs, some stats on him recently. I think it was over the past 4 games. Let me pull that up. Past 4 games. Where did I put it? 33 routes run and a 17.9% share over the last 4. No Drake, no Jalen Richard. I think he's still going to be on COVID protocol. So Peyton Barber would be the backup. But Josh Jacobs' newfound receiving work, 9 catches last week. We could use that, especially if you have him for season long. For this week, if you have him, he could be a difference maker going forward with Drake being done for the year. Derek Carr, you're not starting him in season long for this prop. 259 is kind of high. Kansas City's defense is playing a lot better. I would go the under there.
Yeah, definitely under. I was about to put him as a jabroni too, but I don't think anybody's starting them.
No. I think the main guy to your starting for the Raiders, or two guys actually, is going to be Hunter Renfro and Josh Jacobs. If you were in a dire need, like you lost Logan Thomas and Foster Moreau is available, you can pick him up, but he had a dud last week. But there are worse options out there for tight end. And then obviously you're starting all the main guys on Kansas City. So
yeah, Hunter Renfro has actually been quite a surprise. He's been really good for fantasy. Probably one of the best waiver pickups if you got him really this year.
Absolutely. All right, let's keep moving. Seattle, Houston.
I think this is Russell's comeback game. I think I've been saying it every week.
You and me both, man.
You can't get a better matchup than this. You got Houston, you got a rookie quarterback on the other side. You're going to get a lot of opportunities. So if this is going to be a Russell comeback, that means it's going to be a DK comeback week. That they're both going to have a really good game. So I will try to stack those maybe like in a DFS. These two guys, if you could. But yeah, they definitely look for the bounce back if you have them. Definitely start them. Alex Collins, I'm not even sure if he's playing. And the Seahawks run game is just in shambles. They got so many running backs. They got Adrian Peterson now. I'm not starting any of the running backs. Can't trust it. Even though it's a good matchup, I mean, you don't know who's going to get it. I think actually AP might be the most upside because he's going to get the touchdown. But that's pretty much it on the Seattle side. I think Lockett also, of course, is starting him. It's a good matchup. And then with with the Texans, Davis Mills is starting. He was, I don't think he was hyper targeting Cooks when he was in. But Cooks hasn't had really a great game with Tyrod either. So I think are you fading Cooks this deep?
Yeah, I mean, I think Brian and I are both down on Cooks this week. Seattle's corners actually have been pretty decent all year. I know Jamal Adams might not play, but it's not too – he's kind of a box safety. Yeah. He doesn't really help out too much in the pass game. The corners have been pretty serviceable throughout the year. And I just don't trust Davis Mills anyway. It's really just Davis Mills. Yeah, so I think this is actually a Rex Burkhead. If you have Rex Burkhead and you have an end of
oh god,
garage guy, honestly, I just think it's a Rex Burkhead type game where he gets a lot of volume and a lot of work. I'm not saying he's gonna break the slate by any means, but I think he can be someone who can be a fill-in for what you don't have Jonathan Taylor this week. You're not going to have Damian Harris or Ramondre Stevenson, and Myles Gaskin's been even serviceable. So some running backs, and then yeah, there you go. I was about to bring in DFS. I'm like, there's a main slate, and some good running backs are also not on the main slate. But so yeah, it's kind of one of those weeks where you kind of have to find where you fit in here.
Yeah, but that pretty much covers this matchup. Not really much to go.
I kind of like Lockett too. Bring up Lockett as well. Like it could go to Lockett instead of DK. It very well could. I think Houston plays a lot of coverage shell. I think Lockett succeeds in that majority of the time more than DK. But I've been calling DK for the past couple of weeks too, so I would love to see it happen based on your call.
Right.
All right, let's keep it moving. Jacksonville, Tennessee.
Can you just handle for like 2 minutes? My dad keeps calling me.
Okay, go ahead, man. Hope everything's all right. Go ahead. Mute yourself. All right. So Jacksonville at Houston. Oh, he like went off. Okay. All right. Jacksonville at Houston, guys. I kind of like this game, in all honesty. I think this could be a sneaky shootout type game with really kind of below average to average teams, really below average overall. But as far as going against each other, they can be somewhat average if you kind of catch my drift. As far as props go here, I like Laquan Treadwell. I think this is actually a very fair projection, something I might attack depending on how more news comes out through the week. Marvin Jones as well. I think Trevor Lawrence could also smash this as well. I'm not starting any of these guys really in season long unless you are in a very, very dire situation. And I like Treadwell the most out of all the receivers, shockingly. Deontay Foreman, Dontrell Hilliard is not even mentioned here. Same with the receivers because Julio Jones is still he like Chase Edmonds. I think there was a Chase Edmonds comment earlier, they both have been cleared to come back. The 21-day window to return from IR has been opened, but they still have an IR tag next to their name because they're not fully activated. So you got to stay tuned for both of those type of players. And I think Shaq Griffin is the main corner on Jacksonville, and he's been pretty damn good. He's been their best corner, and maybe less than 100%. We don't know yet on Julio. Another guy to look for, very, very down the kind of like a Laquan Treadwell type pick would be a Dez Fitzpatrick. I picked him up in a very deep dynasty league. I don't know if I'm gonna start him just yet, but that's someone I named to monitor as well. Not much else to say here. J-Row, obviously you don't see a projection here for J-Row. Just the rumors of Urban Meyer and the running back coach benching him and Trevor Lawrence lobbying to get him back in the lineup. He needs the best players out on the field with him. I hope James Robinson gets back on the field. He's definitely way talented and can help people win their matchups as we head into playoffs. All right, let's keep it moving. Riding solo. New Orleans at New York Jets here. There was a question on Alvin Kamara. This is a very lofty projection, but he can definitely smash this and go over with both rushing and receiving against the Jets, but a very, very fair projection of over 100 yards. Taysom Hill, I wish there was a rushing projection for him. That 253 is kind of high. I'd probably hit the under on the 253. Am I starting him for season long? Yes. Am I starting Alvin Kamara for season long? Yes. One of the first guys I might want to build around in a core for DFS purposes for Alvin Kamara? Yes. I don't trust any of these passing options, nor do I trust Zach Wilson. I like the New Orleans defense. Evan Rosales, I see your comment here. Start one, Taysom Hill or Cam Newton. I have the same problem. I have the same question. I have a team where I have both. I am going Taysom Hill as of today, Friday, 12/10/2021. If anything about that finger that he injured last game comes up as an issue, I might change my tune. What say you, Mr. Carolina? Cam Newton or Taysom Hill?
Starting Taysom Hill.
There you go. I just did say that anything happens about the finger, though, if there's any updates that it's hindering him anyway, I'll probably change and flip to Cam Newton. But as of today, I'm going Taysom as well.
Yeah, especially with Kamara back, the offense is going to be running a lot more smoothly against the New York Jets. Going to be more opportunities. You saw Taysom Hill throw 4 interceptions to still get over 20 fantasy points.
So it's just absurd.
It's not more safe than that. You have to start Taysom. Cam could have a pretty good game against Atlanta, but if I had to pick between these two, I'm going Taysom.
Yeah.
So I love you,
Carolina and Cam Newton.
Oh, here we go. Okay, so the matchup, I think it's pretty good for the Carolina side. But speaking on the Atlanta side, it's not too great. However, they're still starting Cordell Patterson. He gets plenty of work in the passing game as well as he gets some running work. So, and in the last time against Carolina, Cordell had an amazing game. So you can expect that to happen again. Russell, on the other hand, had a terrible game. He had a goose against the Panthers last time.
But he boomed this past week recently.
He did, but so we got Dante Jackson from the Carolina side who's injured for the rest of the season. But Gilmore has finally caught up to the playbook, so he should be starting all game, which hasn't.
I think he's gonna shadow Pitts.
He might be shadowing Pitts, yes, but still, Russell couldn't get much going even without Gilmore, but that was with Dante Jackson. So I think you're still starting Russell Gage. Give him a chance. He's been hyper-targeted, and especially with Pitts being shadowed and double teamed, someone else has to get the work besides Patterson. So it's worth a start there. And then no one else. I'm not looking at Tajay Sharp or Matt Ryan. But on the Panthers side, Cam Newton should have a bounce-back week against a bad pass defense in Atlanta. But he needs to run the ball more. He only had like 5 yards rushing against Miami. It was just a terrible game all around. But if he can start running the ball more and get the offense moving, he can definitely score a touchdown with his legs anytime and also throwing the ball. So that's good news for DJ Moore. However, I'm not starting Robbie Anderson. Chuba, we spoke about him earlier. I think Amir Abdullah is creeping in there and taking some reps away from him. So, I mean, if you have no one else, you have to put him in there. At least he's a starting running back. We might
That's
get some
looking like an
value.
under to me.
Yeah, definitely an under. Definitely an under. I would also go under on the most total yards for Cam. So actually, I don't know. That's a tough one.
Yeah,
But
220 is pretty fair. I think he can get like 160 and get like 60 yards on the ground somehow. I don't know. Maybe that's kind of high too, but maybe 180 and then lowering that rushing floor a little bit. But it seems pretty good. That projection is pretty good. But yeah, this one screams under to me. Shockingly, I like even with the receiving kicker here, just like the Amir Abdullah kind of it scares me. It scares me a little bit. But yeah, I'm with you on every single thing you said thus far with this matchup. It's CPAT really. You can give Russell Gage another start. Kyle Pitts just got to manage expectations. Chuba with the Amir Abdullah situation. Tommy Tremble, shout out to Tommy Tremble getting a projection here. I guess Ian Thomas is hurt. I don't even know.
No, he's not. Tommy Tremble is pretty much a starter now. He's a rookie.
Nice.
Yeah, so he's getting
out of my dynasty league, man. He's my kind of my future backup to Darren Waller after.
Oh, you're in a dynasty, nice.
I'm in dynasty league, yeah.
Yeah, Tommy, he has some potential. He needs to have a better quarterback, though.
Yeah, there's nothing really to talk about Detroit and Denver because they took a lot of things off because of the running backs situation in Detroit, and then obviously the ongoing with Melvin Gordon and Javonte. So there's really nothing to really report there. I even seen a lot of Drew Lock, Teddy Bridgewater, like their projections right now in season longs are very similar. So I don't even know who's starting for them. So that is the reason why you don't see much here on Underdog.
But they don't know who's playing.
Yeah, we don't know who's playing really. I did speak up about Godwin Igwebuike. I just picked him up to stash him to prevent someone else from picking him up, just in case I don't think I'm gonna start him, but he's probably gonna be the guy with Jamar Jefferson, as I mentioned. Amon-Ra St. Brown and T.J. Hockenson, of course, and Josh Reynolds are other options that you can look at. I don't feel comfortable starting either one of them either, except for Hockenson, of course. I mean, he's startable. On the Denver side, it is pretty much just Jerry Jeudy, and then figuring out exactly if Javonte is going to start over Melvin Gordon, if Melvin's going to be active. I don't trust the quarterback. I want to trust Noah Fant in the tight ends, whether it's Alberto or Noah Fant, but just the volume's not there. So I don't see it as a really big opportunity. This game could be pretty ugly overall, just for fantasy wise. So yeah, let's keep moving. San Fran at Cincy, please.
San Fran at Cincy. This is going to be a tough call on the pick'ems because I'm not sure which way this one's going to go. But I think both of these teams like to run the ball, and they like to run the ball a lot. And I think they're going to do that this game, which means this game is going to be it's going to end quickly. So it might not be much fantasy-wise that's going to happen, except for the running backs are going to have pretty good games, like Joe Mixon. I like Jeff Wilson this week. But also you got to monitor, I think Joe Mixon might have an illness or something. That's the last thing I heard. He's still questionable for this week. So pick up some Samaje Perine while you can, because Joe Mixon might not play. But
interesting.
Yeah. Interesting. That being said, if he does play, he's a good start. The San Francisco's run defense is not what it used to be. You could definitely run on them. You could definitely run on Cincinnati too. That's why I like the backfield, the running backs for both these teams. Jamar Chase obviously starting. Higgins has been getting on his own lately. He's been doing great, but he's also questionable, so watch for that. George Kittle's obvious play. I mean,
any news on Debo?
Debo is also questionable. I think it's a game time decision. So it's a lot you got to just kind of monitor.
Well, if he plays, I'll say this. I know you love Jeff Wilson, but if Debo plays and he's healthy, I don't like Jeff Wilson at all because Debo's going to get a lot of running back work. And it's So, and who knows, man, if both are out, well, not both for Jeff Wilson purposes. I meant like Debo and Eli, of course, are out. Don't be surprised if Jeff Kittle gets a few end arounds. Like I think Kyle Shanahan is so creative to the point where he's going to get George Kittle some carries. I wouldn't be shocked if he gets 2 carries this week.
Yeah, George Kittle, they always find
ways. So athletic. shoot. I kind of want to put that down as like a little paper bet. Like George Kittle, 2+ carries, go.
Let's do it.
But anyway, I have a couple of stats on Joe Mixon. Only 22 routes on 50 dropbacks for the past couple of weeks. 8.1%. Actually, no, that was last week. I'm sorry. That was just last week. 8.1% target share this season. Overall, that's really low for a bell cow. So he's a bell cow, but he doesn't get the receiving work that you would expect from a true bell cow. So just want to throw that out there for you guys who are Joe Mixon owners. But he's obviously still been killing on the ground, so it kind of doesn't matter. But I just want to throw it out there for shits and gigs. Bengals wide receiver share for 10 games when all three wide receivers were healthy, and I'm talking about Jamar, T. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd. T. Higgins has the bigger target share, and when in those 10 games with all three receivers are healthy, he has a 24.9% target share to Jamar's 23.1%, and Boyd has a 16.7% target share. So I was praising T mid-season. I kind of expected this regression to come his way, so I'm not shocked by it. And I'm reaping the benefits because it's obviously got me back in position in our league with T. Higgins. So
yeah, he really helped you bounce back. I was using the wrong camera this whole time, so now I'm more beautiful. If you've noticed, more and more clear.
There you go.
Yeah.
I like George Kittle, of course, this week. But if Mixon is hampered, I might want to smash this under now because actually, you know what? I think they'll still take it off. If he doesn't play, they'll take it off regardless. So it doesn't matter. I'm not gonna get an edge on underdog. So forewarning, if you do underdog, you do it a couple days earlier, and your guy doesn't play in your card, they just remove it off your parlay card. And let's say you have 4 teams on your card with someone who gets removed, it'll just turn to a 3 player card. Or they refund your whole money and tell you to repick a new card. It's one of the two. I just know they don't allow it to play if anything happens. So there you go. Let's keep it moving. This is probably the game. This is the game of the week next to Washington football team and Dallas. But this one has Super Bowl aspirations too. For both of these teams, these guys could meet at the end in February. What do you think? I mean, it's still possible. I mean, New England's playing great, but this is still.
I think definitely Tampa is going to be in the Super Bowl for the NFC. But AFC, I had the Bills for most of the season. I think my beginning pick, though, was rematch Buccaneers-Chiefs. But I can definitely see this happening as well, especially Buffalo needs to get it together. There's still time. We're only in week 14. There's still another 5 weeks to really get this together. But this will be a very interesting game. I think it's a very good offense in the Tampa Bay and a very good defense in Buffalo. So it's interesting to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. I like Diggs. One guy who's not on here that I'm starting to kind of monitor more is Gabe Davis. He's getting more work. Not by a great margin. I think I wrote this down. Yeah, Bills receivers on 38 dropbacks. Diggs had 37. Manny Sanders had 32. Beasley had 32. Gabe Davis only had 10, but he was in single digits for most of the year. So starting to creep up, and they're giving a lot of more work actually near the red zone. He's just a big body, and he runs slants. He's able to shield people off. So don't be shocked if he continues kind of vulture the guys that we all own, because most of us own the Beasleys, the Manny Sanders.
No, it's like, get out of here, Gabe Davis. Let these other guys just get.
Or even the Dawson Knox touchdown train this whole year. He's been lighting up the scoreboard this season. But yeah, that's someone to monitor for touchdown dependent leagues out there. Gabe Davis is someone to monitor. Maybe pick up at the end of your bench.
Yeah, and I think Dawson Knox, I'll speak about him later, but the weakest point right now on the Buccaneers defense is against tight ends. Dawson Knox had a pretty bad week last week, but I think he bounces back this week against that 1 week area.
Yeah, again, that last week was tough just because the wind gusts were like up to over 50 miles an hour, so it's hard to really manage that game. And
he did drop some passes though.
Yeah, he did.
He'll bounce back.
And of course, the usual suspects for Tampa Bay. All 5 guys that are listed here are all great plays in season long. They're all great plays in DFS. You know, the path to profitability in DFS this season was Tom Brady stacks. You know, if you stack Tom Brady any which way, you're more than likely making some money at the end of the week. Just got to find the right guys, though, whether it be Godwin, Evans, or just Evans, just Godwin, or Evans and Gronk. Or if you capitalize like me 2 weeks ago, just playing Lenny on his 4 touchdown week. It was great. It was great winnings a couple weeks ago for me on that one. This week, I like them all. I really do. I like them all. You got to start them all.
Isn't it crazy that Tom Brady, I think he's still in a quarterback 1 fantasy-wise.
Oh, you want to know his pace, by the way? I got his pace.
What's his pace? It's crazy because he doesn't run the ball. He has no running ability as a quarterback, and he's still the number 1. That's insane.
Well, the guy is just super efficient, and he just has so many good weapons to throw to.
Yeah.
The record for passing yard is 5,477. The passing TD record for a season is 55. His pace is under both, but he's a 44-year-old quarterback, like you said, with no rushing ability. But he's on pace for 5,000. I was about to say 53. 5,342 yards and 48 touchdowns.
Jeez, he could be MVP. He might be the MVP.
He very well could. I know Aaron Rodgers is going to try to shellac the Chicago Bears this week and keep his name in the running there too.
Yeah,
I own you. I own you.
Savage.
He's going to keep doing that to him. Obviously, those 2 games are not listed here. The Bears and the Packers, and then the Arizona Cardinals and the Rams. So, unfortunately, we don't have no prospects on them. But do you want to talk about any of those matchups at all? I'm going to stop sharing down here.
Yeah, I think it's pretty straightforward on who you're starting with those games.
My dog.
The only question maybe yeah, you're not really. I mean, AJ Dillon or Aaron Jones might be a question for some people. Who would you start?
Well, I had AJ Dillon and Tony Pollard in lineups, or I'm probably going to go the AJ Dillon route just because obviously Tony Pollard is the plantar fascia. I know this was a question for Aaron Jones. I guess I want to see more reports on him to make sure he's kind of less than 100 again. But I'm in a position where I just have to play AJ Dillon because of the other injuries that I have at running backs on some of my teams. So I'm gonna say AJ Dillon.
Oh, nice. How about for the Rams and the Cardinals? If Edmonds plays, are you sticking with Connor or are you switching over back to
I don't
Edmonds?
have Connor.
If say one of these guys that are watching has both and they want to know, who do I play?
I'm gonna have to for some of these close ones. I'm gonna have to really pay attention to news and reports from beat writers, Adam Schefter bombs from Saturday night going into Sunday, and then obviously if these turn into game time decisions, then you got to lead up all into lock and just really pay attention to news because they're very telling. The beat reporters are very, very helpful, guys. And I try to do my best to retweet those reports out on Sunday, but of course I'm scrambling with 8 leagues in DFS, so apologies if I'm not getting them out. But when I get them and I have time, I'm tweeting them out to you guys. Those that do follow us on Twitter. There's not many of you. There's more here on YouTube and on IG and on TikTok, but not enough on Twitter. But Twitter's where it's at. That's the information hub.
That's where all the updates are.
Yeah, man. If you really want to succeed, obviously this pod is helpful because we do our best to keep you guys up to date on what we know to this point when we do the pod. But things change from now to Sunday, like drastically, So we want to help you out as much as possible. So follow us on Twitter. The Twitter is actually going on the bottom right now at Fantasy F Mafia on Twitter.
Yeah, get on there.
Go ahead and follow us. Justin, follow us again, man. I'll follow you back. If that was the reason why you followed us, follow us back, and I'll follow you. I promise.
Come on, Joe. You got to follow back. Yeah, Henderson. He might play, might not. But if he does play, he's still questionable. Do you trust him as putting him back in your starting lineup over someone like Jeff Wilson that's going to be starting? He's starting. What do you do in that situation? It's tough, I know.
Very tough. Again,
Henderson
it's really come down to reports, but I think if Henderson ends up playing, I expect him to get the workload. I don't expect it to be like a situation where he was just active to be active because it's another week away. And I think he was limited today, wasn't he? Wasn't he limited today?
Yeah, he's limited again.
So I feel like Yeah, another limited participant today. Friday was limited Thursday. I kind of like him then if he ends up being active. I think this one is not just to be active in dress. So in that situation, I do like him over Jeff Wilson.
Okay. I think that pretty much settles it for these games. We talked about Van Jefferson. Van Jefferson or Odell Beckham? Who would you be signing?
I had a routes run on that one too.
Yeah, I'll be helpful.
Hold on one sec. Sorry. Where did it go?
Boom, boom, boom.
Where the hell did that one go? Where did I put? Oh yeah, OBJ. On 41 drop back.
Oh, it froze. What did I freeze again? What do you see in the comments, people? Am I frozen? Or is Joey frozen? I see Joey frozen.
Sorry about that. Yeah, my internet's been kind of spotty today. I had an interview, and I was giving a presentation to higher ups. And
no,
they kept
cut out.
They kept up like this. I'm hoping that doesn't cost me the job. Pray for me, y'all. But
yeah,
anyway.
It's gonna be poor Wi-Fi, not acceptable.
I mean, that happens to everyone. I don't buy when people say like your internet crapped out, we can't hire you. I mean, come on now.
No, anyway, that'll be bull. That'll be
total bull because that can happen to anybody. But anyway, back to the question at hand. Definitely very unique to see OBJ being that far behind in routes run for being the receiver that they really desired. But I like Van Jeff. I like Van Jeff a lot. Cooper Kupp's pace. You want to know his pace?
A lot.
It's a lot, but it's not. It's also under a 16-game season that Michael Thomas had. Because Cooper Kupp has played 17 games this year. But Michael Thomas had 149 catches. Megatron had 1,964 yards receiving. I forget the year. But Cooper Kupp's pace is 141 catches for 1935. So both of them are under the records for season. But again, like Tom Brady,
that's pretty insane.
Fantastic seasons.
Yeah. All right, let's get into our Goodfellas and the Browns. Then we'll get into our pick'ems. We'll start with Brian's. We'll just list them out for you guys. He had Cam Newton against Atlanta.
For what?
Elijah Moore.
For what?
Elijah Moore. Cam Newton versus Atlanta is one of his Goodfellas.
Oh, Cam Newton, okay.
His second one was Elijah Moore taking on New Orleans. And third is David Montgomery. I'm not sure who the Bears are playing.
They're playing the Packers.
The Packers, yeah, that's a good start. Then there's Jabroni. There's Zeke, who we talked about earlier. He probably not that confident in the knee. Brandon Cooks, who we talked about, with Mills at quarterback against the Seattle Seahawks. He's also Joey's Jabroni, which obviously Brian doesn't read, as we did tell him before.
It's all good. He obviously likes to. Part of his success is riding our coattails because you last week had Javonte.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
that's what he does.
He can use his lead. It's okay.
And then he picks Joe Mixon, who might not play. So very, very nice, very safe, my Brian.
Okay. I'll put an asterisk next to Mixon's name. Go ahead with your first one and break it down for us.
My first good fella is Aaron Rodgers. We just talked about him against the Bears. He owns the Bears, so he can do whatever he wants to the Bears. So, and they're at home in Lambeau. I mean, can't get much better than that. So I know it's kind of a safe pick, but I need to catch up on my good fellows.
And man, I tried to pick Tom Brady.
Yeah, you picked Tom Brady.
I picked Tom Brady 2 weeks ago, and he dudded. So, I mean, anything can happen.
Yeah, so I'm saying Aaron Rodgers is a top 5 quarterback this week. That's all I'm saying.
That's a good pick. I'm going with Josh Jacobs, my long-lost cousin from Alabama.
Down south.
And I expect him just to eat with the workload that he's expected to get. Again, no Drake and expected no Jalen Richard. Peyton Barber to be the main backup. I don't expect him to take much work. I'm just hoping for no injury because you know how Josh Jacobs is when he just gets something hampering him and then he gets taken out of the game, but I'm bullish on him to finish the season strong because they need him big time. We have a very, very slim chance of making playoffs. And this is a divisional opponent. Yeah, but Josh Jacobs, hopefully that target volume that he's been getting helps him with raise his floor a little bit, and maybe he falls in the end zone for you. But I like him as a good fellow just with that expected workload.
Well, that's good because I got him versus you, so hopefully you're right. My next good fella is actually Jeff Wilson. We talked about him a lot already, so you already know our take, or my take at least. He's going to get a lot of carries against the Cincinnati run defense, who's not that great, and he almost had a touchdown last time. He was the starter. I think he definitely lands into the end zone this time, and he could get a few catches out of the backfield as well. So I definitely think he's a very safe play at the least, and definitely will be a good fella. Hopefully, I need to catch up.
That's funny that you guys both also took 3 Goodfellas and 3 Jabronis when I thought I was taking a stand because I need to catch up, so I want to need more opportunity to catch up. But you guys obviously are doing the same thing.
Like, hey, we're gonna get 3. We get 3.
Ah, man. All right. So I'm picking Javonte Williams this week. You guys had him both last week, or you both had him last week. I'm going to go with him again. I will put an asterisk next to this too, just because I might choose someone different if Melvin Gordon does play. Man, I might still keep it. I think Javonte's taking the job from here on out. I'm that high on him. I think he has the same effect for people in their season-long leagues like Cam Akers did last year. This is kind of almost exactly the identical situation because it was late in the year, and this is just what it is. Javonte is just, like you said, leading the league in broken tackles. We've seen him manhandle some defenders, carrying people on his back. People trying to swipe at the ball, it ain't coming out. This kid is the real deal. Kind of has like a Terrell Davis type, running style, if you will. Just very physical, very, very physical.
Go fluid. I like him a lot.
Yeah, very physical. This kid can do it all. So I like Javonte Williams, another good fella.
Nice. My next good fella, Dawson Knox, started early, talked about it earlier. I feel like has a bounce back week. The weather game was not his type of game. This next game against Tampa, I think it's going to be a lot more passing. Tampa's run defense is very good, and Buffalo has no running game. I mean, who's the running backs right now? Everyone they put in there either fumbles it, doesn't do a good job. So it's going to be more passing. And the weakness in the Tampa's defense is against tight ends. So I feel like Dawson Knox, this is the game for him to shine. And I think if Buffalo wants to win, they will target him more and get him some red zone targets as well. So I will definitely play Dawson Knox over some of these other tight ends. And especially if you lost Waller. Well, I guess Dawson Knox would not be on the waivers right now. So
no, he would not be.
Yeah, out of luck right there.
No, he wouldn't be. My third good fella is Hunter Renfro. I'm still sticking with the Raiders on this one as good fellas just because these are the main 2 options, Josh Jacobs and Hunter Renfro. Pretty much everyone else on that offense is hit or miss, and most likely would be misses. And Hunter Renfro just seems like a sure thing. As you said, he's been a pleasant surprise for plenty of people this season in season-long leagues, and also just been a cash mainstay for cash games in DFS purposes. I like him again for a high floor type game. He doesn't really get too many yak yards, but Derek Carr does look for him in the red zone for those quick routes that he runs. So he could definitely get in the end zone. But if he doesn't, he's expected to get anywhere from 8 to 12 targets. Pretty much just lock him in for that and see what he does with those targets. Good fellow.
Nice.
All
right, going into Jabronis, my first one, Ty Johnson. He is starting with Tim Coleman and Michael Carter are out for this game against the New Orleans Saints, who are now the number 1 defense against running backs in this fantasy season. So that's not good for Ty Johnson, who's not that great to even begin with against any matchup. But now he gets the worst matchup in New Orleans. He could get some passing work maybe, which will help him out. But with Zach Wilson back there, he doesn't really toss it to the running backs as much as the other quarterbacks did. So I am not confident at all at Ty Johnson, even as the starting running back.
All right, I'm going to go with Kyle Pitts for Jabroni this week. Manage expectations. You are starting him if you have him. Who else are you going to really turn to? Unless you have, a guy like Dawson Knox. I mean, I'd play Dawson Knox over Kyle Pitts this week if you had both of them. But Kyle Pitts, manage expectations. Stephon Gilmore is expected to shadow him when he is split out wide, and he does that often. He doesn't play in line. If they wanted to get a better matchup for him, I would say line him up inside more. But we'll see how often that is done. But the main MO and where they kind of line him up is out wide or in the slot, and Stephon Gilmore will shadow him in those spots. And he's a great corner still. So yeah,
definitely. No Pitts. Real quick before we go on to my next jabroni, DJ Vic. What's up, man? Chuba or Mooney? Oh man. Okay.
Chuba. Just because of the floor and the volume expected. Mooney, with Justin Fields throwing and Green Bay's passing defense and defense in general showing improvement. I like Chuba this week is a higher floor play.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but I'm going to go Mooney. I think he has a bounce back week. He had a pretty sucky week last week, but
he was on bye.
Before that, he had a really good week, and then
he had two good weeks prior to that.
He had one bad week in between. I know that.
No. I'm gonna pull this up. I got you.
Yeah, you gotta pull it up.
I'll pull it up.
He did have a great week, but either way, if he had a great week, even better. I mean, he's been on fire lately. I know A-Rob's coming back, but that might actually help. So I'm sticking with Mooney.
No, I was wrong. No, you're right. His bye was week 10. My fault. He had week 11, week 12. He went 5 for over 100 yards in each game. One had a touchdown, and then last week, you were right. I'm sorry. They were playing the Cardinals. I don't know why I blanked out on that, but he went 5 for 27 on 7 targets. So you were correct.
Yeah, he's still getting the targets. I think with A-Rob coming back, I might be a little kind of concerned, but I still think that they like how he's playing, and he's an explosive player. Chuba, just the concern with Amir Abdullah and this, Chuba definitely needs a touchdown. So it's tough. It's definitely close, but I'm going to lean Mooney. You can put that on paper if you want. Let's have a paper bet on it.
All right, I'm cool with it. I want Mooney to be better. You know me, I like Mooney because you know who his quarterback is. So I want Mooney. Yeah. But I can't be
the first time we've differed those streams. So.
Yeah, I can't be a homer every single time, right?
That's good.
Or Mooney. Again, my take, DJ Vic, was go with Mooney. I'm not going to fight you for it, especially because the upside is higher than Chuba. I'm going to go with just volume, and volume usually is king, and that's just where I'm sitting on right there. So yeah, there you go. Chuba or Mooney, I put it down there. Okay,
let's do it.
Good luck to you, DJ Vic. Good luck to you, man.
My next jabroni is actually Dante Foreman. It's against Jacksonville. You might think that's a pretty good matchup, but actually Jacksonville has been pretty good against the run as of late, especially. That's actually one of their strong suits. You might not think of it because it's Jacksonville, but they're actually pretty good against the run. I think McNichols is on the way back on the Tennessee side. So now you have a 3-headed monster there. I know Foreman's going to be the lead in far as getting the groundwork and the carries. He's not going to get much passing work, so he really needs a touchdown. And I don't think that happens against Jacksonville. I think Tennessee's going to want to pass it and really lean on the passing game, even though we got Julio coming back, so he might be heavily targeted. So I'm not gonna bank on Foreman. He could have an okay game, and I would still consider starting him if you have no one else. However, I think he gets under projection.
I agree with you there. I like Deontay. I think it could be just tough road ahead for that Tennessee offense in general. My second jabroni is J-Row. I'm just kind of reading the reports. I just don't know why the rhyme or reason Urban Meyer is kind of, and his running back coach is kind of just keeping James Robinson on the sideline. This could definitely bite me in the butt. Maybe they, T-Law lobbied for him and they're going to put him in and Jay Robinson kills. I'm kind of hoping for that situation. I don't mind being wrong, but what I will say is just recently I'm going off of what I read and my gut call tells me that Jacksonville just doesn't get it, and they don't get it right. So James Robinson, manage expectations. I think if you have him, you definitely have to look at other options before activating him. But if you want to go against me on this, be my guest, and I hope that you guys win and he just comes out and kills like he normally should, or at least what he should do. But I'm going to enable him a jabroni this week.
Nice. I like that one. Lamar Jackson against Cleveland is my next jabroni.
Wait, one more time. Sorry, I missed it. Sorry.
It's Lamar Jackson.
Oh, Lamar.
He is the quarterback.
Be Lamar Jackson?
Be Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
Like I said earlier, it's a division matchup. Lamar hasn't been playing to his, to his potential lately. So, in this division matchup, I think it's going to be a very messy game, very ground and pound. Lamar might score running the ball. I don't know if it's going to happen.
He could be the best running back in the game.
He could be very possible.
Yeah.
But just it being a division matchup, it being messy, and Lamar being out of suits lately, I don't think it'll go his way this game, to be honest. So I'm gonna label him under projection. If you have someone else, like you have two quarterbacks that are great, or if you have another one, I'd consider putting him in over Lamar. Especially now, it's getting to the point where you can't just stick with the same players. It's getting to playoff time. You need to go with the best matchups, best players. So if you have someone else, put them in there. I could be totally wrong. Lamar Jackson has a great comeback game, but I don't see it happening.
When I'm doing my third jabroni, come up with a couple of comparables of like who you would start over Lamar for us, so that way we can bring that up.
Justin Herbert.
Well, come on. It's not comparable. That's obvious. To me, that's obvious.
I'd actually start. Here's a good one. Taysom Hill. I'd actually start Taysom Hill over Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, that's a really good one right there. That's a good one. Because the likelihood of people having Herbert and Lamar on the same team, I'm like, dude, you should have traded him.
Like in our league, we have a guy who has Herbert and Tom Brady.
That's so bizarre. He didn't want to trade him. That's so bad.
Yeah, that bastard.
I hope he doesn't win because of that stupid kind of roster move there. My third one is also like Brian's. We both are low on Brandon Cooks this week. My main reasoning, I'm not sure for him, but I'm sure he would agree, is just Davis Mills is that quarterback. Tyrod's is more serviceable, more competent, but he also hasn't been really playing well. And Cooks just, people know now, like he's the only threat like on that team. I mentioned Rex Burkhead as this like kind of like the only guy if you really absolutely needed someone to fill a spot on your team and you're in a deep enough league. Definitely not in 12 teams. I wouldn't start him. I think 14 or deeper or dynasty purposes where they're like rosters are just massive. I think he is the best option this week for Houston. I think he's in line for some work. I kind of hope that he does some things. But Brandon Cooks, jabroni this week for me.
Yeah, Brian agrees with you there too, and I actually agree with you there as well. He hasn't been good lately.
Yeah, well, with my
he was having a great year.
So. Yeah, with my picks though, people can turn and
yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Speaking of picks, let's get into the pick'ems. Boom, boom, boom.
You got Brian's stuff up and ready for us?
I do. Yes, I have it.
All right, let's start with.
One second. We got a question here. Easy money silicone.
Wow, I like this question right here.
Ty Johnson or Amir Abdullah for PPR. Oh man. Okay, so I just put Ty Johnson as my jabroni. So I'm not going back on that. I'm sticking with it. That being said, I'm going Amir Abdullah. I've been speaking highly of him. I think he's right now the better back than Chuba, and they're going to use him in the passing game. So for full PPR, I'm going Abdullah. What do you think?
I like Amir Abdullah. For this particular little question here, especially because he said full PPR. And now Ty Johnson, like you said, he could get the receiving work. But I think Amir Abdullah, I just been ever since CMC was out earlier in the year, like Amir Abdullah was kind of creeping up and has been reading reports that they really like him. And just he could pop. Like he can be like a Dontrell Hilliard or a Jeremy McNichols, like those games where they both had a grip of catches. I think that could be something that he does.
Yeah, Amir Abdullah, easy money.
There you go, easy money. Speaking of easy money, let's take Brian's this week. Beat him and pick him.
Let's do it.
All right, you got his ready? I'm going to start off with Baltimore at Cleveland. Cleveland is favored by 3 points. I'll say by -3.
Cleveland is favored.
Yeah, -3.
Wow. Okay, so
Oh, sorry, guys.
I will take Baltimore as the upset.
Oh, that's your upset pick.
Yep. I'm
I am
surprised
going to
Cleveland is
go with
favored.
Cleveland at home in this divisional game, and I think this is a Chubb Hunt week, possibly a big bomb to DPJ. But I'm
I
going to
can
go.
see that. I can see that.
Hey,
Brian is going Baltimore.
all right, here could be a leverage for me. I
If
am
you guys are watching on the chat, go ahead and leave your picks as well. We will jot them down.
Justin, calling Justin one more time. You want to get in this week, man. You missed last week. I'm very disappointed in you, my friend. Jacksonville at Tennessee. Tennessee is favored by 9.
All right, Brian has Tennessee. I'm going with Tennessee as well.
Man,
Really?
I look. I'll say that. Can I do like a disclaimer on this one? If Julio's active, I'll stay with Tennessee. If he's not, I'm going to go with Jacksonville.
Fine, we'll allow it.
All right.
Since you're last. Oh, here you go, Justin.
I mean, we made those discrepancies, or like not discrepancies. We made those qualifiers before. Like we've had that happen, so it's not.
I think we let Justin do it. Yeah.
We let Justin do it. And speaking of Justin, he picks the Titans. Okay. And Justin, did you want Baltimore or Cleveland, buddy, from the first game? Baltimore, Cleveland. We're going to move on to the third one. Just put in the chat, buddy. All right. Las Vegas at Kansas City. Kansas City favored by 10. I'm shocked it's not higher. I'm shocked it's not higher. City. You know what? I'm going to go Kansas City. This is the first time
that I'm going to pick against
my Raiders.
2021.
And watch the Raiders are going to win this game. Because I'll say this. Whenever I pick against my team is when we win. We can use a win. I'm going with Kansas City, though, with the shellacking.
Wow, this is insane. Joey is winning against his own team.
I am. But you know what? I took a note from Brian's book because Brian went against Miami a couple times this year. One of those times it paid off for him. Because I remember saying, "Oh, you're going against your team. I'm going the other way," and I still lost. Like I can't believe I picked his team and I still lost on that.
Yeah, I think I'm the dumb one. I'm the dumb one sticking for the Panthers. That's why I'm not going to.
I know. Look at Justin. Like Justin's proud of me right now. He's shocked but proud. I could tell. Did you and Brian go KC as well?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you think Brian's going to go Raiders?
Come on now. He did pick with me.
Actually, I don't think he even has him down here. Just put him as a rate. Oh, he doesn't have Chiefs. Never mind.
He does have Chiefs?
Yeah.
Okay. Next one. -5.5 New Orleans at the Jets.
Yeah, you got to go New Orleans.
I think we're all going to go New Orleans.
Will Justin go against his own team?
Will Justin go?
He always does.
Yeah, we'll see.
There won't be any surprise there.
Brian's also New Orleans?
Yes.
Brian has waiting on Justin. We'll go to the next one. Justin's really debating this one. I can tell the way he has it.
Really thinking
heart-wrenching for him. Dallas at Washington football team. Oh, Justin's going to the Saints as well. Guess we're all going against our teams this week.
3 locks to score a touchdown. Yeah, I think at the end we can do that, huh?
You guys got locks. 3 locks to score a touchdown. We can do that after we have time. Yeah,
I'll just pick probably my 3 good fellas. I think they're all locked to score a touchdown.
We'll go through it after. Dallas at Washington football team. One of the games of the week. I'm going Washington football team.
Yeah, this one's actually kind of tough.
I'm going Washington football team with this one, man. I really am. Logan Thomas injury hurts him, but I think the healthiness, the health of the running backs for Washington outweigh like plantar fasciitis and a bum knee for Zeke.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going Washington as well. I'm going to go Washington. Brian is going Dallas, and Justin says it hates me saying it, but I think Cowboys will win. I know it sucks to root for the Cowboys. It really does.
I'm debating whether that's going to be my upset. Let me look at the rest of the matchups.
Washington's just finding ways to win every game. It's I don't know what it is.
My upset pick of the week.
That's your upset? Okay.
That's my upset, yeah.
Oh, Justin, don't forget to pick one of these as an upset.
Oh, yeah, pick one of your upsets. So far, Justin, you have Baltimore. That could be one. And actually, that's the only one so far, but you can pick any of the other ones too. that are going forward if there are an upset pick. But you could
So we
just
got
make Baltimore.
6 people on here watching, so we're nearing the end here. So you guys have your questions, put them in now, so we can get to it. We end the show.
Do that. Atlanta at Carolina. Carolina favored by 2.5.
This one's tough, Carolina.
So Justin and I are going against our teams, and Joseph is going to pick his.
I'm the last man standing. I'm not going to go against my team, never.
But I am going to go with you on this one. I'm going to go with Carolina.
Let's go. North Carolina.
What does Brian have? Come on, man. You're supposed to be on top.
Yes, Carolina. Sorry, Carolina.
And Justin will wait on you, man. But we can always
He's going Carolina. Come on, he's smart.
We'll see. Seattle at Houston. Seattle favored by 8.5.
Yep, Panthers. It is. Seattle. Brian has Seattle.
I'm going Seattle as well.
Yeah, Seattle.
Joseph, and we'll wait on Justin again. Detroit at Denver. I'm going Denver, and it's not close because Denver is favored by 10. And Justin, I got you at the Seahawks.
Yeah, Denver.
Joey, Joseph, Brian, what does he got?
Denver.
All right. And Justin, we have now oh God, this is bad. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games now with 4 of us. Well, depending on this one being the other one for if Justin picks Denver, but 4 games we're
all gonna lose.
Or means a couple of these are gonna lose. So be prepared for some upsets, guys. New York Giants at the Chargers -9. I'm going Chargers.
Yeah, I'm going Chargers.
I'm going Chargers.
Who knows? I don't even know who's starting for the Giants.
Jake from State Farm. Jake
from State Farm. Yeah. Denver Lions have too many injuries. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it went to 10 and it went to 10. So yeah,
the Lions got their one win. They're like, all right, everybody just rest. We got the win.
LAC for Justin. What did Brian have?
Chargers.
All right. SF at Cincy. San Fran is actually favored by 1.5. Shockingly, I think this line moved from Cincy side to SF recently. Oh, Glennon cleared protocol. Okay, that's new.
I don't think it makes a difference.
Well, Mr. Longneck is gonna get decapitated. Not in real life. I'm sorry.
Okay, Brian has the Bengals as an upset over the Niners.
Okay.
I am going with.
I'm going with Brian on that one.
I'm going with the Niners.
You're going with what?
I'm going with San Fran.
So you and Justin with San Fran. Okay.
I noticed Brian always picks his upset is against the Niners.
That's interesting. I didn't notice that, but I do like Cincy this matchup, especially with Eli Mitchell out. Buffalo at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay favored by 3.5. I'm going Tampa Bay.
In Tampa. So is Brian. So.
Justin with TB12.
I'll go Buffalo.
Joseph, you already declared. So that is another upset, but you declared for Baltimore. Chicago at Green Bay.
Oh, Bill should be Bears on Monday Night Football. Okay. Both claim. Well, I think it's just going to be close. I think Buffalo wins in a close matchup. I think they're evenly matched. Josh on the road. Come on. I mean, it could get worse.
I'm going to go Green Bay here. Too big of a spread to even think otherwise. But
all right, put that on paper. Green Bay by 50.
All right, Justin.
Green Bay.
I'll give you 50 points.
Talking about getting it.
Doable. It's actually doable, I think.
Talking about getting embarrassed, I think the Packers are going to embarrass the Bears.
I mean, this is A-Rod, man. He owns them. Remember? I own you. Clip that.
That was crazy. Savage. All right, Chase Wilner, what's up, man? Who would you? I like his picture.
I know.
Who would you guys like?
You like to go to your home?
Who would you guys like for a PPR flex, Barkley, Henry, or Terry. I am going Barkley. I think the matchup is the best against the Chargers. They're going to have to run it. Chargers are a run funnel defense. They let people run on them. I say it all the time. Barkley is a great running back. Henderson,
Fun fact.
we're kind of iffy. McLaurin, I'm kind of iffy, so I'm going Barkley.
Fun fact. Freddie Kitchens in the 2 games he's taken over as OC with the Giants, they only put up 1 touchdown. So not Jason Garrett, I don't think was the problem. I think Jason Garrett could have done that in 2 weeks as well. Kind of like your Joe Brady and your Carolina Panthers. I really think that the 2 OCs get blamed for things that are just not under their control or their problem anyway. But I agree with you. But my heart's telling me that Terry McLaurin is going to beat Trey Diggs on a double move or some sort and just barely edge out Barkley. So I think it's going to be close. Volume is definitely in Barkley's favor. Henderson's, too hurt. So I'm gonna go Terry though. I'm gonna go Terry. Terry McLaurin.
Wow. Okay, put that on the paper. Terry versus Barkley. What's up, Chase? Thanks for your question.
Oh shoot!
Let's go. 50 points.
Yeah, that's definitely doable. Was Brian in your pick on that one? You didn't even declare Green Bay, Chicago.
Oh, yeah, I got Green Bay, and so does Brian. Anthony Ort asks, "What's up? Need to start? What's up, man? What's up? Need to start? Two Mixon, Monty, and Barkley. Was thinking Mixon and Monty. I would go Monty and Barkley. Mixon is questionable going into this matchup. So, and I think the other
two are because he's sick, though,
plays.
right? There's no injury from Mixon.
I don't think it's. Let me make sure on this.
Yeah, because I want to double check that as well. Because if it's just a sickness and he gets fine by game time, I want Mixon and Monty over Barkley just because of what Barkley's done all year. But if Mixon is hampered by any means, I will co-sign to Mixon and Monty and Barkley. But I'm with you with what your initial thoughts are, Anthony. I'm going Mixon and Monty right now.
Yeah, so Mixon looks like is an illness, so
yeah,
he might be good to go, which means I'm still sticking with my Mixon. With my
Monty Barkley. All right, well I'll go Monty Barkley to your Monty Barkley to my Monty Mixon. Okay.
All right. Well, for sure you're gonna start Monty, Anthony.
All right, there you go. Another paper bet there.
This is a great question. I'm going with Foreman, even though he's my jabroni, but I think he's safer.
Where's the Deontay one?
Oh, sorry, this one.
No, where's that Deontay one you were just talking about? Oh, Foreman. Oh, from Justin.
I put it up on the screen here.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Deontay as well. Denver's run D is actually is okay, and Godwin, BWK. He had one splash play, but I'm going with.
We don't really know what's gonna happen.
We don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, we're good. All right, last matchup is Monday Night Football. The Rams at the Cardinals. Cardinals are favored by 2.5.
Neck and illness. I think with Glennon they're gonna run more, but that's me. All right, what's the next one?
Rams and Cardinals. Cardinals favored by 2.5.
You know what? I think Rams going to back this game. I'm going with the Rams.
I'm going Cardinals.
And Brian is going Arizona as well. Justin's with me, going with the Rams.
Okay, I feel it.
Usually McVay has had Kingsbury's number. I know that earlier in the year Arizona's beat them, but I think McVay's going to beat them.
I really, really like Kyler being healthy now. So I just think that's just a different animal altogether. And that second level of the Rams defense is really not good. Like after watching them week in, week out with them, their second level needs a lot of help. And they got rid of Kenny Young. They threw him to Denver. And then they got this number 50. I forget what his name is. And him and one other guy are just so bad. They're so bad. Anyway, Stafford, Jones, Javonte, Hill. I'm guessing that's Tyreek. Jeff, big monster. Pitts, J. Rowe, Denver D. Matt Gay. I'm playing Brady, Gibson, Pollard, Deontay, Jamar, Kelsey, Freeman, Cowboys D, and Tyler Bass. That is one hell of a matchup, my friend. And you obviously got the edge right now with J. Jeff. I don't know what the question is, but it's just like a close matchup. It's going to be a close matchup. That's pretty damn close.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty close.
If you can look for a better spot than J-Row, I would.
Well, so Pollard is iffy going into this matchup, so you're going to need him in the backup.
No, that's the guy he's playing. Then. Oh, no, he said, I am playing Gibson?
I am playing Brady, Gibson. That's
against someone that has Brady? Or then who's the other one? Then what's
the other team?
No.
I win? I think I do like your side better, but you got to find out something for Pollard if he doesn't play.
Yeah, possibly.
Even if he does play.
Yeah. See, he's going against Brady. See that? I told you he was going against Brady.
Oh.
Got it.
Well, the other guy needs something to do with Pollard.
Anthony
also,
Ord.
Different league. Should I go Sony or over Julio and Hunt?
It just depends on if Sony's going to get the work, if D'Hendo's ruled out, Anthony. But if he is out, Sony is the play. Kareem Hunt. I like Kareem Hunt over them, than both of those guys. What about you?
Yeah, I'll go Hunt as well.
Yeah, I'll go Hunt, and then if Sony gets the nod, that Sony's number 2, then I'll go Julio. Julio's not a bad option, but just out of these three, if they're all starters, I'd rather go that.
He can hurt his hamstring in any minute,
or he can just get bracketed too. There's really no other threat. Like they can take him out of the game. Yeah. Chase Wellner, Odell, E-Man, Guyton, PPR. Man.
Odell.
I know Keenan's out. Mike Will is going to be active. He's vaccinated and had negative tests. Man. Well, I'll say ask this to Yosef and Justin because they're the ones that picked the Rams. I have a feeling that if the Rams pull off the upset, it's actually going to be because of the matchup that Odell has.
Yeah, I think Odell has a really good game actually, and he's been heavily targeted. I'm going Odell over these guys. Emmanuel's been inconsistent. Guyton.
Can you really
I know Mike Williams is out. Guyton.
Oh wait, I thought Keenan was out.
Mike Williams is out for sure. I don't know about Keenan. He could play, but he might be out too. So
Keenan's already out. Now, Williams, I thought passed protocol.
Oh, I heard he was out.
What?
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
Actually, if that's the case, if Keenan and Mike Williams are out.
Right now he has an O next to his name, but he should play this after being deemed close contact. Keenan should play Sunday against the Giants. As long as Williams gains points as hope, he should be busy Sunday while leading the team. So yeah, Williams should play. Allen is out. Mike Will should play. So I think this can be like the early season Mike Williams type stuff. Guyton's going to get more looks. He's going to get a lot of those bubble screens. But out of these three, I'm going to go Odell. I will go Guyton over E-Man. I don't know what it is about E-Man. I think he's past the age model. He's getting old. He might get a few catches, but I don't see him really doing much.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the most talent here and just go Odell. The most powerful offense. You're welcome, bud.
My team is Stafford.
I win. It's pretty even. 50-50. I think if the guy keeps Pollard in, hopefully he does, you have a chance.
Yeah, true. Yeah, but I would like I Pitts as a jabroni man, Justin, because I think he could be shadowed by. But you have to play Pitts if you don't have any other better tight ends like comparable to Kyle Pitts caliber. So you got to play him and just hope he gets by him one time, especially in the end zone. And then on your J-Row side, I mean, just keep monitoring that backfield because if T-Law is lobbying to play him or worked on Urban Meyer, then J-Row is fine. But if there's any other options you have, you can kind of squeeze them in over J-Row. Just forewarning there. I think Kupp, Hill, Javonte, Score, TV. Oh, those are his 3 picks. Do you want to do 3 picks real quick before we head out of here?
I'll go Jeff Wilson, Dawson Knox, my 2 good fellas, and I'll throw in Monty.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Nick Chubb. Let me find a spot to put this in. I'm gonna go Nick Chubb. I'm going to go with Alvin Kamara. And I'm going to go with I'm going to go with one of my good fellows, Javonte. I'm picking all running backs, but I'm doing that. And you have Cup, Hill. Oh, you have Javonte. Oh, or I guess we're splitting that one. I guess I could pick another one. Let's see if I can pick a receiver on this one. I'll go with
I would pick Jeff Wilson and J-Rob. I know
go
Joey
with,
likes
I'll go with Mike Evans instead. But Javonte, since you have Javonte, Justin,
Yeah.
and you said you want Aaron Rodgers, Jeff Wilson, Dawson Knox.
I'm going Montgomery, Wilson, Knox. I can't pick a quarterback.
Yeah, Montgomery, Wilson.
Yeah, I like to go running backs in my flex because they get for sure volume, especially if they're starters. So, and more likely to get a touchdown. And especially Gallup as the third receiver on the team. I know it's a very good matchup, but that's my take, man. If you want to play the most safest you can get.
Yeah, you have time, man. Just monitor that situation. And just read reports. Again, like I was saying earlier, I don't know if you caught it, is I try to retweet a lot of beat writers throughout the week and also before game time. But having a kid and managing that many teams and doing DFS, sometimes I don't get to it. But we do our best, man. But I just hope that, just monitor the right people and you'll be fine.
Right, we went on way past time.
Way past time. It's a long video, and I'm tired. My son was up at 4 a.m. this morning. I'm tired as hell.
Oh God, that's the worst.
It was just a random day. He usually sleeps 12 hours from like 6:30 to 6:30, but
wow,
really, really random that he woke up at 4 and just didn't want to go back to sleep.
Oh man,
really good sleeper. But anyway, for you guys on the East Coast, appreciate you staying up past midnight with us and talking football. Best of luck to you in your Week 14 matchups, and that is all I got, man. What do you say to round it off?
Yeah, peace out. Good luck. Good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck, guys. Have a good night. And if you made it into the playoffs, good for you. I didn't. It sucks. It really sucks not making the playoffs. Hate to leave on a bad note, but
do you want to have a quick little
here to help you guys?
Do you want to do for a lunch meal for our fantasy matchup this week?
Sure. Make me feel better.
I want your best foot forward anyway. I need you to can't have you just lay down for me to make the playoffs.
Oh, so. I know what it is. Oh, so you want to buy me lunch so that I let you win.
No. This is
okay. Wow.
I said I want your best foot forward to put your best lineup in and prevent me from going to the playoffs. Because if you beat me, I'm out, and we're both sitting at home watching Brian. And Brian,
that'll be nice. At least I won't be alone. Yeah, I'm looking to beat you this week.
All right, there we go. All right, there you go.
That's right.
Looks like 4 or 5 teams will make it, but possible I get all my 5. Well, hope
Let's
you do.
Go. With our help, of course. That's right.
I'm looking to get 7 of my 8 in the playoffs this year, so I'm hoping I take down at least one of those motherfuckers. Yes, I did curse again. I'm sorry. Don't tell your mom.
Hey, dude.
Our algorithm is going to get jacked. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Let's go.
Later, guys. Have a good one. Bye, Justin.
Peace out.